Where to start? What do I need to do? What courses do I need to take? What subjects do I need to study? Are often the questions I get from time to time from persons who want to navigate and venture into the field of cybersecurity. Welcome to this course, Pivoting into Cybersecurity. As you can see by the image on the screen, I deliberately did it like that, as it depicts the state of the career confusion you are probably experiencing. I seek to bring stability to your current state with a practical 360-degree view full of experiences. I am Richie Perry, and I will be your career mentor in this course. I am a passionate cybersecurity professional. I enjoy cybersecurity and GRC, and most importantly, helping others like yourself to gain a strong foothold in the industry. The fact that you have decided to take this course, Pivoting into Cybersecurity, tells me a few things about you. One is that you are seeking some form of structured value-added guidance with your career based on the fact that there are so many resources, there are so many advices as it relates to this field of cybersecurity. And for sure, I want to bring some form of structure that actually leads you along that path. Secondly, you are either just leaving college or university and don't know how to navigate your way to the world of work. Thirdly, you are transitioning from the military or some other profession and need to know how to make that shift. Fourthly, you are unable to find someone who is willing to spend a few minutes, a few hours to give you that quality, honest guidance that you desire to navigate your way. If those are any of the reasons for deciding to take this course, then you're at the right place. I too understand your pain and your frustration, and that's the main reason why I developed this course. Join me in the next segment where I will share with you the outline of this course and its objectives. See you then. This course consists of 6 segments, namely segment 1. And in segment 1, we're laying the foundation for our course. And this is where we're going to be looking at things such as misconceptions about cybersecurity. What are the realities? What am I really getting into when it comes down to cybersecurity? Understanding the fundamentals of cybersecurity, understanding the business objective or main purposes of cybersecurity, the different roles associated with cybersecurity. Very importantly, are the questions to ask and important points to think about carefully before choosing a career in cybersecurity. Are the characteristics of successful cybersecurity professionals. In segment 2, this is a very potent segment of the course. And this is where I will definitely be sharing with you various interviews that I've actually conducted in my CyberJ Podcast. And this is where professionals in the industry share the different paths they took and the challenges, as well as provide nuggets of advice to help you in your career journey. In segment 3, this is where I paint the big picture. And this is where we look at those career path roadmaps and the many avenues, structured avenues that you can actually take to make those decisions in building your career transition. Segment 4, this is where we're going to be looking at exploring the big picture, looking at a high level, the various domains within cybersecurity can definitely help you to have that holistic understanding and view of cybersecurity. Segments 5 and 6, which are not shown here, are 2 very important surprises to boost your career that you definitely do not want to miss. So stick through with this course. It definitely will be rewarding for you. let us look at the objective of this course. And this course only have one main objective, and that is to provide you with a practical and realistic set of resources and guidance that you can use to navigate your cybersecurity career. That's my main purpose, to give you that structured alignment that will be able to give you that guidance, that step-by-step approach, that curated approach. So instead of actually using various free tools, free resources, not being sure as to what works, what doesn't, my aim of doing this course is to be your mentor, to give you that career guidance based on my experience and challenges. So stay tuned for what next in this course. Welcome to segment 1 of this course. Let's start. And this is where I will be laying the foundation for all the fun stuff that lies ahead in this course. And as was mentioned earlier in the previous segment of this course, segment 1 will be focused predominantly on these particular areas. And of course, I will be definitely be jumping into a number of other things as we go along in this course, but predominantly we're going to be looking at these major issues, these major points as it relates to making that career decision as it relates to pivoting into cybersecurity. So we're looking at things such as what are the realities of getting into cybersecurity, misconceptions about cybersecurity, questions to ask, and important points to think about carefully before choosing a career into cybersecurity. We're also going to be looking at the characteristics of a cybersecurity professional, understanding the business objectives or main purposes of cybersecurity, and also understanding the fundamentals of cybersecurity. So stay tuned for what next in the next section of this course. Oftentimes we watch the movies and the various advertisements, and a certain picture is painted of what cybersecurity is all about. But what exactly are the realities associated with getting into this career space? And for sure, this cybersecurity is a very wonderful opportunity, a very wonderful career environment to be in and to align yourself with. But it does takes a lot of consideration. It has a number of intricacies involved in terms of the way or you would think in terms of what is actually portrayed versus what is actually required in the field of work as is required by various organizations and business in terms of you actually utilizing your skills in helping these organizations to be resilient. So you definitely need to be asking yourself a number of questions, such as what skills or characteristics will I need to have? Is it just about hacking? What mindset and education or certifications will I need? What level of experiences will I need? And the list goes on. Now, those are some of the questions that you need to ponder. And I will be addressing these questions as I progress through this course. And as I said before, I will be your mentor in this course. I'll be as realistic, sharing those ins and outs experiences of the realities of actually becoming and excelling or pivoting, taking your career to the next level into cybersecurity or the GRC space. So let us look at what are these realities associated with actually getting into cybersecurity regardless of your current state. And the first thing is the fact that cyber threats are, or cybersecurity on a whole, is a rapidly growing field with increasing importance in today's digital age. And as a cybersecurity professional, then you can expect to encounter a range of realities and challenges. So let us look at some of these. And the first one that you're seeing is the fact that this is a constantly evolving environment. There are various threats that are constantly evolving. So as a result of this, based on the fact that cyber threats are constantly evolving and becoming more sophisticated, you will need to stay up to date with the latest security trends and also technologies to effectively protect against these threats. So this is not one of those fields that you learn something and then you lay back and say, I will just remain as I am. You constantly will have to find a thin line of actually keeping abreast, aware of all the dynamics that are taking place within cybersecurity so that you can be that efficient professional that organizations are looking for. Secondly, is the fact that high demand. So with the rise of things such as cybercrime, then there is a high demand for cybersecurity professionals like yourself. And this means that there are many job opportunities available, but also is the fact that the field is highly competitive, which means that you have to find yourself in that niche to actually capitalize on these opportunities that do exist. Diverse skill set. So as a cybersecurity professional, then you will require a diverse skill set, including both technical and soft skill, problem-solving skills, and the ability to communicate complex ideas to technical stakeholders, especially if you are seeking to move along the leadership aspect of cybersecurity or you want to venture into that GRC aspect of cybersecurity. Looking at things such as regulatory requirements, and this is even more prevalent than ever before. The fact that many industries, such as healthcare and finance, have strict regulatory requirements for things such as data protection and privacy. As a cybersecurity professional, then you will need to be familiar with these various regulations and to ensure that these organizations are compliant accordingly. And we definitely be looking at these in details as we go along. Teamwork, very important. As a cybersecurity professional, cybersecurity is a team sport. This is not something where you alone are you working a silo, for example. For example, you might have the concept of just red teaming or blue teaming, but it's a holistic approach that has to be taken when it comes on to cybersecurity, based on the fact that cybersecurity is all about risk management. And this actually comes down from the top in terms of the governance of the organization. Now, you will need to work closely with other members of the organization, including IT staff, management, and other stakeholders to develop and implement effective security policies and procedures that align with the business objectives. It's a high-stress environment, and this cannot be overemphasized. Cybersecurity is a high-stress field, as a single mistake can result in significant damage to an organization or business. So you will need to be able to handle the pressure and make sound decisions quickly in high pressure situations. Constant learning, and this cannot be overemphasized. If you fail to keep up to be a constant learner, then you will be left behind. And that's a huge challenge for many persons getting into this field. You have to find ways to actually keep abreast and up to date with what is happening. Cybersecurity is a field that requires constant learning. And that is one of the things that I do on a regular basis. Always trying to learn new things to keep abreast with what is happening and adapt to what is happening. Now, you will need to stay up to date with the latest security technologies and techniques to ensure that your organization is protected against the latest threats. Overall, as a cybersecurity professional, you have to bear in mind that this can be a very challenging, but yet a very rewarding career. Therefore, it requires a diverse skill set and a commitment to continuous learning, but it also offers the opportunity to make a real difference in protecting organizations and individuals from cyber threats. That's the beauty of cybersecurity. Now that we have an understanding of some of those realities that are associated with getting into cybersecurity, then let us look at these misconceptions about the field of cybersecurity. And the better you understand these misconceptions and these realities, then this definitely puts you into a better position to know how it is to progress and to treat with actually developing your skills. And if I had known some of these things that I mentioned before, I would have taken my career onto a next level based on where I'm now. But nonetheless, that is why I'm actually taking the time to share my experiences with you so that you are better able to pivot and take your skills to a different level as is required. Now, looking at the misconceptions associated with about cybersecurity. Now, what are these misconceptions as it relates to getting into the field of cybersecurity? Now, there are several common misconceptions about getting into cybersecurity, some of which I'll be addressing. And one of those is the fact that you need a degree in computer science or some computer information security or some degree in information technology. Now, I want you to understand this very importantly. All of what I'll be saying depends on the situation. So having a degree, it all depends, but it is not necessary depending on where you actually venture into cybersecurity. Now, while a degree in computer science or a related field can be helpful, it is not always necessary to have one to get into cybersecurity. Many successful cybersecurity professionals have backgrounds in fields like engineering, mathematics, or even psychology. The key is the ability to adjust and to apply to deal with whatever situation exists at that point in time, to be able to garner the skills, the tool, the skill set, and what it is that the organization is looking for and is willing to work with in terms of mitigating those associated risks in those organizations. Secondly, misconception is the fact that cybersecurity is all about hacking. This cannot be overemphasized. So while hacking and penetration testing are important aspects of cybersecurity, they are not the only things that cybersecurity professionals do. And it is indeed fun. I mean, as a cybersecurity professional, you want to have that understanding of penetration testing and hacking, the offensive and the defensive. It's good to have that knowledge as it relates to cybersecurity. But the fact is, cybersecurity also includes things such as risk assessment, vulnerability management, security policy development, incident response, and many more fun aspects of cybersecurity that you are able to develop those skill set that can effectively contribute to an organization security posture. The third misconception is that cybersecurity is all about technology. While technology is certainly a critical component of cybersecurity, it is not the only factor. Cybersecurity also involves understanding these three very important elements: the people, the processes, the technology, and also the policies and how they will interact with the technology. Third misconception, or fourth misconception rather, is cybersecurity is a one-time fix, which is far from the truth. Cybersecurity is not a one-time fix, but it is an ongoing process based on the fact that threats and vulnerabilities evolve constantly. So cybersecurity professionals must therefore, in your case, and also in my case, because I'm always learning, continuously monitor and adapt to keep systems secure based on the dynamics of these systems. Next point is that cybersecurity is a solitary pursuit. Now, cybersecurity professionals do not work independently at times, but in a team, as mentioned earlier. Teamwork is also a critical component of the field. Collaboration is often necessary to ensure the best possible security posture for an organization. Next misconception is the fact that cybersecurity is only for technical people, right? So while cybersecurity or while technical knowledge is essential for many cybersecurity roles, it is not the only attribute that makes someone successful in the field. And at times, persons think of it this way and then they stay away from the contribution that it could actually make to the field of cybersecurity. Communication or problem solving, critical thinking, and creativity are also important qualities for cybersecurity professionals to possess. And these are things I strongly recommend that you adapt. And I will definitely be addressing a number of these more as we go along in this course. Overall, the field of cybersecurity is dynamic and multifaceted, and there are many parts to your success in this journey. Therefore, it's essential to have a broad, holistic understanding of the field and its various sub-disciplines, not to only have that tunnel vision, but of an understanding of the various elements and how it is all of these work together to provide a level of maturity, resiliency that organizations are looking for. So make those informed decisions about as a race to pursue a career in cybersecurity. So there we have a number of misconceptions. So see you in the next segment where we take our journey a little bit further. What are those important questions to ask and also those important points to think about carefully before choosing a career in cybersecurity? And this is something that in many cases, a number of persons do not spend time to actually evaluate, to look into before they actually proceed into cybersecurity. Now, choosing a career in cybersecurity requires careful consideration and also planning to ensure that it aligns with your interests, your skills, and your career goals. Now, we're going to be looking at some of those critical questions to ask and important points to think about before choosing a or pivoting into cybersecurity. And the very first question to ask is what specific areas of cybersecurity that actually interest you, those areas that you're really interested in most. Now, there are several areas within cybersecurity, such as network security, you have application security, digital forensics, you also have incident response, and the list goes on. So identifying your areas of interest can definitely help you to determine which career paths are best suited for you. And once you understand this, then you're able to select those various tracks, those areas, those degrees, those certification, those levels of experience that are definitely geared towards helping you along that path. Second important question, what skills do you need to succeed in cybersecurity? Now, cybersecurity requires a combination of technical and soft skills, such as analytical skills, problem-solving skills, attention to detail, communication skills, and project management skills. Now, assessing your skills and identifying areas where you may need to improve can definitely help you to determine which career paths are a good fit for you. So the skills you need depends a lot on the area that you decide to go in. And by, as I said before, by doing this course, by following all the guidelines that I provide, then you definitely, at the end of this course, should be in a far better position in terms of looking at where you are now and what it is that you need to get to where you need to go. Thirdly is what level of education and certifications are required for the career path you are interested in. Now, some cybersecurity roles require for example, a bachelor's or a master's degree in cybersecurity. Uh, you might also need, for example, computer science or some related field, while others may only require relevant certification. I mean, things such as the Certified Information System Security Professional, the CISSP, which is the gold standard of cybersecurity professionals, or for example, the CA Certified Ethical Hacker, and there are many more on the list. Now, what are the job prospects and earning potential for the cybersecurity roles that you are interested in? And also very importantly, do not only be led by the potential earning, but very much understand what is involved so that your skill set, your passion aligns with this. Now, it's essential to research the job market and the earning potential for the cybersecurity roles you are interested in to ensure that they align with your career goals and financial needs. And also very important to be able to negotiate well within an interview setting. Now, what are the work environment and job responsibilities like in the cybersecurity roles you are interested in? Now, some cybersecurity roles may require working in a fast-paced and a high-pressure environment, while others may involve more routine tasks. It's essential to therefore understand the job responsibilities and work environment to ensure that they are aligned with your interests and work style. And the next question rather is, how do you plan to stay up to date with the latest cybersecurity trends and technologies? And that's a very good question. Now, cybersecurity is a rapidly evolving field, and I cannot overemphasize this point. Therefore, it's essential to stay up to date with the latest trends and technologies to succeed. Consider how you plan to continue your education and professional development, such as attending conferences, taking courses, or obtaining relevant certifications. Overall, choosing a career in cybersecurity requires careful consideration of your interests, skills, career goals, and the job market to ensure that you are on the right path. Now, by asking these critical questions and thinking about them carefully, then you are able to look at the various options available. You can then make that informed decision about your career path. And for sure, as you go along in this course, there are a number of other elements that definitely I will be exposing you to that will help to guide you and to put you in a better path than where you are now to making that alignment in terms of pivoting into cybersecurity. So we have decided to venture into cybersecurity. What are those characteristics that makes a successful cybersecurity professional? That's an important question to ask and to gain those answers in terms of progressing forward into cybersecurity. Now, as a cybersecurity professional, then these are individuals who specialize in protecting computer networks, systems, and data from unauthorized access, theft, damage, and other types of cyber attacks. Therefore, you have to possess a number of characteristics or certain characteristics to actually do well in this field in terms of being a cybersecurity professional. And not only just a regular, but one that is exceptional, one that is successful. Now, some of the commonly associated cybersecurity characteristics associated with a cybersecurity professional include things such as one, technical expertise. So cybersecurity professionals have a strong technical background and possess knowledge of, for example, operating systems, networks, firewalls, encryption, and other security technologies. And I'm not saying that you have to have this deep technical expertise, but it's good to have that foundational understanding of these basic principles as it relates to information security on our whole, to better appreciate and to be able to apply your skill sets accordingly. Second characteristics is that to have analytical thinking, and cybersecurity professionals, they say, have the ability to analyze complex data sets, identify patterns, and develop strategies to prevent cyber attacks. So you want to have that lens that look beyond the surface, always looking at the why and the how in terms of how things actually work. So you have to always be thinking beyond the surface. Next characteristics is that of a cybersecurity professional is being detail-oriented. Now, they are meticulous and pay attention to details, ensuring that all aspects of a system are secure and protected. Adaptability, and this is very important. You have to be very fluid as a cybersecurity professional. So cybersecurity professionals need to be adaptable. You have to be very flexible in terms of the fact that the threat landscape is constantly changing. So you always have to be learning new things to keep abreast of what is happening. You have to be able to stay up to date with the latest security trends and be able to adjust with the various strategies accordingly to defend against these various attacks. Next point is that having strong communication skills. So you must be able to communicate effectively with both technical and non-technical individuals, including management, your colleagues, and customers. So this is very important in terms of your soft skills. Having an ethical mindset, and this is something that cannot be overemphasized as a cybersecurity professional, acting ethically. Right? So as a cybersecurity professional, then you must have a strong sense of ethics and responsibility, as these are entrusted with protecting sensitive data and information. And for many of these certifications, then you have to abide by these rules of ethics. Problem-solving skills. Then you must be able to think creatively to solve complex security problems, often under pressure and with limited time. Team-oriented, right? So you must be able to work in teams and must be able to collaborate effectively with others to achieve common goals. And overall, cybersecurity professionals must possess a unique blend of your technical skills, your soft skills, your analytical skills, your ethical responsibility as it relates to protecting against cyber threats. You want to evaluate how many of these you have in terms of skill sets so that you can then make the necessary decisions or adjustments to your current skill set in terms of progressing into that area of cybersecurity that you see best fits your current aspirations. When you look at this question, you must be saying to yourself, what does this have to do with a cybersecurity professional or pivoting into cybersecurity? Now, the reality is that cybersecurity must never be seen or treated as a standalone mechanism, but rather an integrated approach to supporting the business or organization's objectives. Now, as a result of this, being a cybersecurity professional, then it's important to understand the business objectives or the main purposes of cybersecurity. Now, these include things such as protecting data. Now, the primary objective of cybersecurity is to protect sensitive data from unauthorized access, use, disclosure, or destruction. Therefore, as a cybersecurity professional, then you must ensure that the data is safe and secure, whether it's stored on-premise or in the cloud. Maintaining system uptime, and all of these is in line with the business objectives of the organizations. So it's very important to understand your roles, your responsibility, or whatever it is that you do as a cybersecurity professional must be in line with the business itself or the organization in meeting its objectives, and not just about you in terms of just executing your duties randomly for the sake of security. So you have to bear these things in mind. So maintaining system uptime, very important. So cybersecurity is also concerned with maintaining system uptime, ensuring that systems and applications are available and functioning correctly. And as a cybersecurity professional, then you must prevent and respond to system failures and cybersecurity attacks that can disrupt business operations. Compliance. Organizations must comply with various laws, regulations, and industry standards related to cybersecurity, such as you have the GDPR, you have HIPAA, you have PCI DSS, and many others. Therefore, as a cybersecurity professional, then you must ensure that the organization is meeting these various requirements with the skills that you have to add value to that organization. Risk management. So cybersecurity is also concerned with managing risk associated with cyber threats. Therefore, as that professional within that organization, then you must be able to identify, assess, and manage the risk to protect the organization for potential cyber attacks. Business continuity. So this is where you as that professional must be able to ensure or work towards helping the organization to ensure that the organization or the business can continue to operate even in the event of a cyber attack. And this includes or involves creating and implementing a disaster recovery plan that ensures business continuity and helps the organization or the business to recover from a cyber attack quickly. Now, overall, the main purpose of a cybersecurity is to protect the organization's assets, including its data, systems, and people from cyber threats. As a cybersecurity professional, then it's important for you to understand these business objectives and work towards achieving them. So the understanding of these elements is applicable in any role in cybersecurity. So it's very important that you understand the business objectives or the main purposes of cybersecurity and its alignment with the organization for you to be that efficient professional within any organization that you support. The great thing about cybersecurity or transitioning into cybersecurity is the fact that no matter your background, whether it's finance, whether it's it doesn't matter the industry that you're coming from, is the mindset and taking the time to understanding the fundamental elements of cybersecurity in terms of how things actually work, in terms of delivering that level of security that is required within an organization. That is the key that is definitely required to build your skill set in moving forward. So having that mindset, that open mind to get these elements. And the things that I'll be sharing with you might not be the most comprehensive. However, I believe that these elements are definitely foundational, that you should have that basic understanding of as we proceed. Now, this is just for reinforcement. In the case that if you're already familiar with cybersecurity, then this is just a reinforcement. But if you are new, then this is definitely something that you want to take the initiative to go beyond the surface of what I will be sharing with you at this point in time. Now, what are some of the fundamentals that every aspiring cybersecurity should know? And very importantly is the basic networking concepts. That's very important. Now, there are several fundamentals that every aspiring cybersecurity professional should know. And some of these things are things such as basic networking concepts. Therefore, having a strong understanding of basic network concepts such as IP addressing, network protocols, and routing is essential for any cybersecurity professional. The fact that you have devices that are connected, that is where the need for cybersecurity comes in. That connectivity, protecting against the various threats as a result of this connectivity is very important. Secondly, having that familiarity with common operating systems, including operating systems such as Windows. Well-known Windows, you have your Linux, which is also very popular within the OS world. You have your Mac OS. So it is important to have that understanding how to secure these various systems. Cybersecurity concepts and principles. So a good understanding of cybersecurity concepts and principles such as confidentiality, integrity, and availability, the CIA triad, is essential for developing effective security strategies. And these concepts in of themselves is a total different lesson, total different course in of itself in terms of all that is involved with all of these elements. But as you go along, then you can take these things in stages to build your knowledge and your skill set. So threats and vulnerabilities. So a knowledge of common threats and vulnerabilities. Things such as malware, phishing, and social engineering is also very important for identify potential security risks. So having that knowledge is also very important. Not to mention security tools. So having that arsenal of tools that you can reference to deal with various situations. So the familiarity with common security tools such as firewalls, intrusion detection and prevention systems. You have your antivirus software. All of these are essential for implementing effective security measures. Cryptography. So understanding that basic cryptographic concepts such as encryption and decryption is also important for protecting sensitive data. Compliance regulations, and this is even more so for persons who are thinking of venturing into the GRC space. But on a whole, this is also very important that as a cybersecurity professional, you're also is aware of these things. And then at the end of the day, whatever security measures that are being implemented, controls is in alignment with meeting such regulations. So having that familiarity with common compliance regulations such as GDPR, HIPAA, and PCI DSS is important for ensuring that organizations comply with applicable laws and regulations. So that's very fundamental. Then you have ethical hacking and penetration testing. So is important for identifying potential of security measures. And for sure, these fundamentals provide a solid foundation for professionals like yourself build upon gain that with in the further segments of this course. I'll be introducing you to a number of authentic sources that you can use to acquire the requisite certificate courses for free, of course, to build a strong foundation of these cybersecurity fundamentals. Cybersecurity and GRC roles, skill set required. This is definitely a very important aspect of cybersecurity in terms of when you think about transition into cybersecurity, there's so many areas that you can actually focus on to develop that specialization of skills. And the skills that you acquire, I mean, all depends on the nature of the business, the environment that you'll be working in, the requirements, your objectives. So I definitely sharing with you some of those normally discuss elements or skills depending on the field that you decide to go into. And this is something that is normally discussed and debated in a large on a large basis. So it all depends, it all varies. However, having that foundational understanding of this can definitely guide you in that right path. So in the next segment of this course, I'll be looking at this in further details in terms of those key roles and responsibility of cybersecurity professionals. So see you in the next segment. There are many roles involved in cybersecurity and GRC, and for sure, these of course have a required amount of skill set that is required to actually take your career to the next level in terms of actually being that cybersecurity professional that is required. So as you go along, then it's very important that you have that understanding of these fundamental skill set. And as was mentioned in the previous segment, these various roles varies in terms of the skill set that is acquired, and also different professionals within the industry will also have their own preferences, have their own part in terms of the skill set that they actually acquire to build their skill set in these various roles. But very important is the fact that cybersecurity and GRC are two different fields that actually intertwine with each other. So these different fields or entities definitely require a different skill set. Now, when it relates to cybersecurity professionals, these are persons that protect computer systems from unauthorized access, such as theft or damage to digital information. While when you think about GRC professional or special, these are now the persons that are focused on ensuring that the organization or an organization or business security controls align with various regulatory requirements and standards. So there are many career roles in cybersecurity. Roles such as you have cybersecurity analyst, security engineer, or you have security architect, penetration tester, ethical hacker, security consultant, the CISO, chief information security officer, and the list goes on. Now, there are two broad fields that encompasses, or I should say rather, cybersecurity and GRC are pretty much very broad fields that one can actually venture into. And there are various job roles with different skill set that are required. Now, some of the common cybersecurity and GRC roles and skill set required for each of these different roles include a number of things, but are not limited to, for example, let's say you wanted to go into becoming a cybersecurity analyst, then a cybersecurity analyst is responsible for things such as analyzing, monitoring, and responding to security threats. They need strong analytical skills, attention to detail, and the ability to identify patterns and threats in data. They must also have knowledge of security technologies and protocols, including firewalls, intrusion detection systems, SIEM, and the list goes on. If you wanted to go into, for example, in becoming a network security engineer, then a network security engineer focusing mainly on the design, implementing, and maintaining network security solutions. So someone like this definitely must have a deep understanding of going back to the fundamentals, networking technologies, TCP/IP routing, switching, security protocols, and they must also be familiar with firewalls, VPNs, intrusion detection, intrusion prevention system, and the list goes on. Not to mention becoming the penetration tester that so many persons aspire to get into that field. So penetration testers are responsible for identifying the vulnerabilities in systems and networks by simulating real-world attacks. So this person, if you decide to go into that area, must You definitely have to have a strong understanding of, going back again to the fundamentals, operating systems, programming languages such as Python, and be familiar with network protocols, operating systems. You must also be able to use penetration testing tools and techniques such as Metasploit, Nmap, Kali Linux, and the list goes on as you build your skill set. If you wanted to become a security consultant, and this is where persons having been in industry for a number of years would have acquired some amount of experience and are now able to package their skill in the form of service. Now, security consultants will definitely work with organizations to assess their security posture and recommend solutions that can mitigate against these various risks. So this individual must have that deep understanding of, going back to those fundamentals, security protocols, SIEMs, regulatory requirements, HIPAA, GDPR, various frameworks within the industry that can be used, be able to develop various cybersecurity program strategies. This individual must also be able to communicate effectively with various clients along the verticals within an organization, good project management skills. So these are some of those fundamental skills. If you also decide to go into, for example, being a compliance manager, going into the GRC aspect of things, then as a compliance manager, then you're then going to be responsible for ensuring that organizations comply with legal, regulatory, and industry requirements. This is also someone that have to have a deep understanding of compliance regulations. Going back to your SOX, the PCI DSS, ISO 27001, you must also be familiar with the risk management frameworks. Going back to excellent communication, good project management skills. And as you go along, you recognize that there's also an interconnection and interlap between all of these skill sets as you go along within these various aspects. Not to mention becoming for many persons, this is the gold standard, the ultimate achievement in the security space for many persons. I mean, including myself, is to become that chief information security officer. And this is someone who is responsible for the overall security posture of an organization. Therefore, you would have to have a number of years of experience within the industry, understand the fundamentals beyond the surface, must have strong leadership and communication skill, as well as that deep understanding of security technologies and regulatory compliance requirements. And in addition to these specific roles, there are also several other cybersecurity and GRC roles that require a range of skills and expertise, such as if you wanted to become a security operations or working at a SOC, or become a SOC analyst, or an incident responder, or a risk analyst, and a security architect. But overall, to succeed in these roles, then you need a combination of technical skills, such as knowledge of security technologies and protocols, and of course, those soft skills, such as the effective communication, project management skills, are very important. Not to mention, this is a dynamic environment, so continuous learning, staying up to date with new technologies and industry trends, and obtaining relevant certification can also be very beneficial. And when you think about technical skills, then you're required for these roles to, for example, attention to detail, technical writing, being able to install and configure those various tools within the industry. And there are a number of other certification that goes along with these technical skills. For example, the CompTIA Security Plus, you have the GIAC certified incident handler, you have the EC Council, certified ethical hacker, some certified computer forensic examiner. These are some of the certifications. Soft skills, going back to leadership, communication, credibility, your responsiveness, ethics. Those skills definitely earn the trust from senior management and peers and subordinates within your organization. So if you also aspire to become a cybersecurity leader, then you must also have project management skills to put together comprehensive security plans with key performance indicators in mind. So as you decide to go and to build your skill set within this environment of becoming a cybersecurity professional, then you have to take the time to look at those areas that are of interest to you, look at what is definitely required, and also to align yourself with persons that are already in the industry. And for sure, there are other aspects of this course that will deep dive into all of the things that you can take into consideration to build your skill set and to actually make yourself into becoming that ultimate cybersecurity or GRC professional that you're actually working towards within the industry. So I will see in the next segment of our course where we'll definitely be taking this deeper as we build ourselves in becoming persons of value to the industry. See you in the next segment. Welcome to segment 3 of this course, Real Stories. And this, I believe, might be one of the most important aspect of this course in itself. Listening to those real stories of where you get to hear and see the conversations I have had with various cybersecurity and GRC professionals within the industry. And these individuals share their stories and experiences about their career journey, their challenges, and most importantly, are the valuable nuggets of information that I strongly suggest that you make notes of as you watch these different interviews in the upcoming section of this course. Now you have the option of watching these unedited video recordings uploaded here in this course, or you can go to my official podcast platforms to listen to these valuable conversations. In the resource section, you will see the link to all the platforms, and I strongly suggest that you follow, subscribe, and share to these resources with other individuals that you will definitely think need this guidance in building their career, taking their career to the next level. So guys, this is a section of the course that I'm extremely passionate about, and I definitely hope that you too will find this very informative when you listen, when you recognize that there are also individuals in the industry that had the various challenges that you're going through who were able to pivot along the way despite all the hurdles that was involved in becoming those professionals with many years of experience. So guys, let me quickly just give you a sneak preview of what is entailed as it relates to the CyberJ podcast platform that I have actually done a number of valuable, insightful recordings that can definitely add value to your career development. So as we are looking and recognize that the CyberJ podcast, there are a number of valuable conversations. So there you have all the nuggets of information. These are various conversations with various professionals in the industry. Right? I strongly recommend that you also listen to this where I share a number of insightful career advice nuggets. And as the list goes on, various experts in the industry that you can actually take the time to listen. Also, there are also various elements of information that you can also learn from to build your skill set. These are also various live streams where I conduct those webinars with various professionals. CISOs in the industry, cybersecurity expert, sharing on various insightful topics. And the list goes on, risk quantification, all of this information is there. Professionals in the industry, CEOs, engineers, cybersecurity professional, penetration testers, you name it. There are a number of roles, cybersecurity analyst persons in the GRC space coming from various backgrounds that you can actually take in these information. You can also investigate the profile of these persons to see where they are coming from with the various roles they have had in their career lifespan and how it is that they actually navigated their way along those journeys in terms of their skill set. So this is a vast resource point for you to actually dive into in terms of acquiring that knowledge, to recognize that there are also persons just like you who have actually navigated their way. And so can you in terms of building your skill set in becoming that cybersecurity professional that you are aspiring to be. This is a segment of our course where we explore the many domains of cybersecurity that can act as a guide for your career journey. Now, let us look at some of these. So, what you're looking at are those fundamental domains of cybersecurity that you want to become familiar with in terms of having that holistic 360-degree view and approach to cybersecurity. In the next segments to come, we are going to be exploring the elements of these domains at a high level. And just to give you a quick preview of what we're going to be exploring. So for sure, we're going to be looking at all these elements in terms of domains that are associated with cybersecurity and the various areas that you can actually pivot into in terms of the various. For example, if you decided to specialize in enterprise risk management, then there are a number of areas that you could actually explore in terms of specialization. So as it relates to enterprise risk management, then you're taking into consideration a number of these various elements: crisis management, risk appetite, tolerance, becoming familiar with those terms, their applicability, audit, various audit standards, depending on regulations, security architecture, network design. So there's a lot for us to unfold in this segment as we seek to look at all of those critical domains involved with cybersecurity and GRC. So see you then. Welcome back to this segment of our course as we seek to dig deeper into understanding the various elements or tenets or pillars, or if you want to say those domains of or within cybersecurity that you can actually look into in terms of building your career journey. And from this is not all inclusive. There might also be other elements, but for sure, this can definitely be a roadmap for you in terms of building your cybersecurity skill sets. And based on all these domains, that interconnection of both cybersecurity and GRC, working together within an organization as a security professional, working together as a team to deliver these various services or capabilities within an organization to help that organization to be as resilient in their operations as best as possible. Now, from within these domains, then you are able to make that decision to see where it is that you really want to focus your energy in terms of building your skill set. Is it in the GRC space, focusing on governance, incorporating various frameworks? So having this 360-degree understanding can definitely add value to you as a cybersecurity professional. So it's not a matter of trying to know all the elements, all the various fields or career that exist within these domains. But when you understand that these elements actually exist, or it is that they work together, then you're better able to deliver that level of efficiency in terms of helping that organization or business to meet its overall objectives. So let us say, for example, within the enterprise risk management, and as a security professional, one of well, your main goal or main focus is all about risk management. It's all about managing the risk in the organization to make those risks known to senior management so that the necessary risk agreements can be made, that risk decisions can be made in terms of the risk appetite of the organization. So if it is that you want to build your skill set in enterprise risk management. And there are a number of certifications that actually focuses on risk management. And as we go along in the course, we definitely be looking at some of these various certifications that have been established if you want to focus on the risk management aspect of cybersecurity. So once you, and this what we're looking at is pretty much at an eye level that you can actually dive further, but at least you are seeing or having an idea of the various elements that you can, and there are many mind maps like this with where different persons have different views and in terms of the depth of information that is involved in all of these domains. So this in of itself is not cast in stone, so always do that additional research. So this pretty much covers when you are looking at in terms of your lines of defense, you're focusing on your auditing, and there are various types of audits that are done. The processes, you're looking at risk treatment, risk appetite, cyber insurance, business continuity planning, disaster recovery, crisis management. All of these elements are associated with enterprise risk management. So if you decide to go in this area, then these are some of the various topic points or key things that you will be coming across that you can actually use this knowledge, this information to build your skill set according as it relates to enterprise risk management. So if it's on the architecture side in terms of security architecture, and there are persons who are very technical when it comes on to cybersecurity, then you want to deep dive into actually building cybersecurity into organizations from a technical point of view. And this is where you are looking at things such as network design, building security into your network design. So maybe in a case like this to prevent, for example, a DDoS attack, right? So you have your network design, you have things such as your security engineering, data protection. We're looking at data leak prevention, access control, identity management, privileged access management, and there are various certification courses from Microsoft and other vendors that actually have specific line of training or certification paths that actually focus or deep dive into these various elements as it relates to security architecture. So if you are one of those technical persons hands-on, then you can definitely dive into this area of or this domain of cybersecurity that focuses on security architecture. And the architecture all depends on the nature of the organization, the type of resources, equipment, tools, platforms that are going to be used within the context of that environment. However, the principles that governs these remains the same. For example, identity management, federated identity, MFA, SSO, those are exist right across the board. Access control, cloud security, secure system builds. So you have your basic configuration patch management for persons who want to dive into cryptography. Then you can actually build in terms of key secret management, vaulting, encryption standards. You have persons who definitely focus on these elements, certification management, endpoint hygiene, container security. So depending on the context of the organization and the areas that you want to go into, then you can say, all right, I want to become a security architect. These are some of the things that you want to look at, you want to become familiar with, you want to have those levels of skill set as you build your career journey moving forward. So in the next segment, we will definitely be looking further into all of these domains that exist for you to see what is entailed in these domains so that you can definitely make that decision in terms of where it is that you really want to build your skill set and your passion. So see you in the further segments of this course. So far, we have looked at the enterprise risk management domain, looking at all those various components that falls under enterprise risk management if you decide to go along that path. We have also looked at security architecture and the various elements associated with security architecture if you decide to build your skill set along this way. So let's just continue to look at the other domain elements to have that practical 360-degree understanding of these elements. So let's say you wanted to go into the security operations component or domain, then for sure you want to start diving into the Security Operations Center. That's a SOC, and there are various courses that actually focuses on these areas within the security domain. And for sure, as I had mentioned earlier, I'm going to be basically bringing you through a number of tracks or career paths that can actually guide you along these various domains that you can definitely build your skill set along those avenues. So within the security operation domain, then you're going to be looking at things such as your SOC, that the Security Operations Center. And within this, then you're looking at things such as incident response. You also have your SIEM, your SOAR, your vulnerability management. You're focusing on things such as active defense, threat hunting. All of these are specialized areas that you can actually build your skill set within to provide that level of expertise that organizations are definitely looking for. And I mean, as it relates to incident response, then you're looking at things such as your containing your incidents, eradication, your investigation. This is where you have your blue team, your red team, detection, forensics. All of these avenues fall under security operations. So there are a number of elements, a number of avenues, a number of skill set, tooling, career paths within each of these that you can actually consider in terms of moving forward with your cybersecurity career. Within the physical domain, then you're looking at things such as your IoT security, threat intelligence. All right, so this breaks down into internal threats, external threats, looking at ways to prevent all of these from happening. Your IOCs, indicators of compromise, intel sharing within the context. So all of these open source intelligence for persons who want to go into those avenues. And you can work in various organizations that actually takes advantage of these particular skill sets. There are persons who want to focus within the area of risk management. And cybersecurity is all about managing risk. And this is where you have your third-party risks, down to fourth-party penetration testing, right? Where you look at infrastructure, network systems, application, pen test, social engineering, all of these elements associated with the penetration testing part, and there are a number of carriers along these avenues as well. So looking at risk assessment, you take into consideration your vulnerability scanning, asset inventory, risk monitoring services, and going down to application security. So far you are looking at physical security, all of these things, then moving on to your application security. And within this, then you have your system development lifecycle, looking at your source code, API security, security QA, CI, CD integration, open source. So all of these, so there are persons that actually focusing predominantly on looking at securing applications. And this actually opens up a new avenue for potential employment within the cybersecurity space. So there are definitely a number of domains, career paths within these domains of cybersecurity that can actually use to elevate and take your career to the next level. So you have the application domain, you have your risk assessment, threat intelligence, physical security, your security operations. You also have your security architecture, enterprise risk management. So in the next segment, then they're definitely going to be looking at some of those specific GRC elements that you can actually explore in details. And for sure, I will provide you access to this particular file in itself so that you can actually use it as your guide in building on your career path skill sets. So see you in the next segment. All right, let's turn our attention to more of the GRC aspect of the domains. As we think about having that practical high-level view of the various areas that you can actually focus on in terms of taking your cybersecurity career to the next level. So far we have actually covered a number of elements, a number of areas that you can actually zone into. So as it relates to the governance aspect, then there are a number of areas that this actually focuses on, and this can be quite right. So once you talk about governance, that's the aspect where persons want to focus more on the GRC aspects within an organization. We are looking at laws and regulations that governs an organization, or it is that they operate in line with their cybersecurity practices, looking at the various compliance regulations, standards, PCI in this case, HIPAA for the healthcare sectors, looking at writing policies, procedures, standards, guidelines, all of these things, executive management involvement, and improvement reports, helping the organization to develop a KPIs, risk-informed decisions. So all of these things and more fall under your governance domain, and there are a number of frameworks, standards that actually focusing on developing governance within organization. For example, you have your POBIT that focuses on IT governance within organizations. So this is for persons if you're actually interested in building your skill set within the governance space. So there is a number of opportunities that actually exist for you within that avenue of building your cybersecurity career. Now let us look at frameworks. So this is also another domain or element within the cybersecurity domain, and that is becoming familiar with various frameworks and standards. And standards or frameworks actually build that guideline, that base on which to actually implement and achieve security within organization in terms of the controls that you can actually implement to establish that secure baseline from which to work. So knowing about this baseline, mastering these baseline, and there are various courses that actually focuses on these various framework and standards. And even by acquiring these skill sets or these certifications, knowing the details of these standards and frameworks, how they are applied and used in organizations can definitely help you in terms of achieving or gaining employment within an organization, even to work on projects that involve the application of these various frameworks or standards, especially in cases where it is required for meeting compliance regulations. And as we are focusing on career development, then this is where you definitely want to value training, invest in training, certification, your conferences, be a part of your peer group, self-studies, align yourself with coaches and role models. And these are definitely some of the advice that you will definitely get as we go along in the course, and also from the section of our course in which we look at those real stories. Then that is where you will get a lot of this information in terms of what is emphasized by these persons as they have gone through their careers so far. Education and training, this cannot be overemphasized, where you build your new skills, the awareness, right? Your cybersecurity tabletop exercises. So as I said before, guys, this is just giving you a high level 360-degree views of the various avenues within cybersecurity, all of those domains, governance, your frameworks, looking at your security operations. If you want to go into those avenues, your security architecture, physical security, threat intelligence, risk assessment, application security. So there's a number of elements, and all of these are various components that aligns with various job roles or functions within the cybersecurity and GRC space that can definitely help you to put things into perspective as to where you are now. That is where you conduct your self gap analysis, evaluate your skills, your experience, and then try to see where it is that you want to go in the future. So guys, I hope this was definitely helpful for you in terms of having that 360-degree high-level view of where you are now and where you want to go. So I look forward to seeing the next segment where we continue on this wonderful journey of making those informed decisions as it relates to transitioning or pivoting into the various avenues of cybersecurity. Welcome to this segment of our course where we look at those career path roadmaps. And the fact is that there are many roads in cybersecurity, and there are also many roads that you can take to get to your destination. So in this segment, I will expose you to a number of options that I have used to navigate and excel in my career journey. The key is to, as I previously mentioned, is to assess where you are at now. That's your gap analysis and where it is that you want to go. Where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years? So in the next segment, we're going to be looking at a number of those options, those paths that you can definitely use to build your career in terms of moving forward with your cybersecurity career journey. So see you in the next segment. What you're looking at is my career path roadmap options. And there are a number of options that I've actually identified, which I've used and continue to use to this point in my cybersecurity and GRC journey. And I will be sharing these with you so that you can explore the options, make use of the resources, and for sure build your skill set so that you can be that person of value that organizations are definitely looking for within the industry. So just quickly jump across to all those options. All right, guys. So depending on where you are at in your level of experience, both on the job as well as from a academic perspective, then for sure you can actually make use of these platforms. And one of these platforms that I use a lot, and this is not just about highlighting any particular brand. I'm not affiliated with any of these platforms, but it's just a matter of showing you the options that I have actually used. And you can also do further research, and because the fact is that there are many other platforms that do exist that offer a lot of training parts. But in this case, then, for example, this course in itself definitely provides a good foundational basis in terms of your introduction to IT and cybersecurity. It's always good to have the fundamentals. And the great thing about this is with this platform, you will have access to approximately 500 hours of free courses of value, high standard courses. And what's even so much important is the fact that at the end of these training courses, then you are awarded with a certificate to show to employers that you are a person who is constantly learning. So these are certifications that you can definitely add to your resume, to your profile. So within this course, for example, you have the various introduction to all the areas, system administration, network administration, the initial forensics, penetration testing, cloud. So it pretty much lays out the foundation for taking your cybersecurity career to the next level. So this is where you get introduction to IT and cybersecurity. So this definitely builds or sets a good foundation for persons who are starting out in cybersecurity. And for sure, there are a number of other parts that you can actually explore depending on your level of expertise to this point in time. So in particular, you also have the career paths, and I have actually completed a number of these paths that you can actually take to build your career, right? So you are prepared for your next job in cybersecurity, and there are a number of options that you can explore, right? So you have the IT foundations, you have the cybersecurity foundations. If you want to become a system administrator, a network engineer, right? All of these cybersecurity, incident handler, becoming a pen tester, SOC analyst, 1, 2, 3, right? The more advanced courses, CISO, security controls, and the list goes on. All is required, guys, is for you to create that free account and capitalize on these amazing resources to that actually guide you. So these are not just random courses or curated courses, but you actually have a roadmap, a guideline, a career path outlining a number of programs that you can be enrolling to build your skills in a particular path, right? So let us look at option 2. So you can actually make use of these security skills, and SANS, have a very well-documented skills roadmap so that you can actually use to assess your skills levels in terms of where it is that you want to go with your career. For example, baseline skills. So this is where you have those baseline core skills, right? This is your skill map moving from baseline to focus job roles to crucial skills specialized roles. So you can actually start from those basic core techniques and skill areas. And from this, you can go across onto more job-focused roles. So if you wanted to go into monitoring and detection, then you have the courses associated with this field that you can actually go into to gain those skill set. Right? If you want to go into offensive and operations, it has the courses looking at vulnerability analysis, penetration testing, and it guides you along the path to bring you to those various outcomes that you decide. If you want to focus on incident response and threat hunting, then it also have those courses, and it takes you along those paths into those various job roles of choice, right? So you have this as a guideline if you want to go along this route of doing those SANS courses. If you want to go the Cisco route, and Cisco has a number of fundamental cybersecurity skill training, free training that you can also earn badges that you can show to employers. Courses that you're actually building, you have those fundamentals, skills or understanding of cybersecurity, right? So for example, in this course itself, right, these are the cybersecurity essentials. Always spend time to learn the essentials. That's the important thing. This is where you learn valuable security principles to defend networks. Guys, this is 30 hours of training. It is free, right, to build your skill set. So you want to definitely capitalize on these valuable resources that are available to you. All right, you can also decide to go along the Microsoft training track, right? And they have a number of free learning paths that you can experiment with, right? Learn how to protect on-premises identities with Microsoft Defender, and the list goes on. There are a number of training paths. These are the learning paths that you can actually learn, build your skills, and also achieve various badges to show that you are acquiring skills. And they have a learning path roadmap that guides you to the various courses that you want to achieve. And this is option 4, right? So if you want to go along this path as well, where you have your Coursera courses, and it also has a number of guidelines in terms of, in this case, 5 cybersecurity career paths and how to get started. So pretty much in this case, you can explore the courses that are there, that are structured in a particular way to give you guidance in terms of all the courses that you want to do within a particular track to get you in line with a particular job role that you desire. Right? You also have, very important, these are EC Council, and this is their essential series. Now, the very good thing about this is that these are free of cost. So far, all of these resources, you can actually make use of valuable resources free of cost to build your skill set. Once you acquire these foundational knowledge, then you can actually go into more advanced certification courses that the industry demands. But achieving these certificates, these areas of information can definitely add a lot of value to you in breaking or pivoting into cybersecurity, right? So network defense essentials, very comprehensive, right? As it relates to building your understanding of networks. Ethical hacking essentials, very comprehensive in preparing for things such as the CEH, which is a Certified Ethical Hacker course. You also have your digital forensics. So having this mix of knowledge, this wealth of information definitely sets you apart in your career journey, right? You want to also capitalize on resources. In this case, you have Qualys Certification and Training Center. And from here, you have a number of certified courses. These are free available courses that you can take. You also achieve your certificates to show your skill set. If you want to go into vulnerability management, vulnerability management detection and response, right? Scanning strategies, patch management, all of these certifications are available that you can make use of to show, make those decisions as to those areas that you want to focus on. You also have the Security Engineer Skill 3 certification recommendations, right? And in this case, it's an advanced roadmap that allows you to take your cybersecurity career accordingly along these various certification paths, right? Building a baseline, and it guides you into the areas that you really want to go, right? In this case, recommend the skill path for a senior penetration tester. And it says achieve your network plus, your Linux plus, your security plus. So these are guided paths to help you to achieve that ultimate outcome of where it is that you really want to go in the industry. And it gives you the certifications, the costs associated, right? All of the necessary information. And for sure, guys, I will be providing a link to all of these resources for you to access and to explore. Not to mention, for those who want to go into API security, right? So there we have our API Security University, and all these courses are free hands-on courses that you can actually simply sign up, dedicate the time and hours, put in the work to show that you are exceptional. And for sure, these definitely will make you stand out and to give you that direction as to where you really want to focus your attention so that you can definitely deliver the value that organizations require of you within the industry. So guys, see you in the next segment of our course, where we will continue to look further into pivoting into cybersecurity. As we continue to look at those career path roadmaps, and for sure, you definitely want to check out the previous segment of this course if you have not done so, as you look at those various options. So in addition to what I've already shared with you, I also want to add a number of useful resources that I will be attaching to this course that you can definitely look into in terms of building your foundation and taking your cybersecurity to the next level. So for sure, here you have, for example, getting started with cybersecurity, right? And for sure, these are a number of things that you want to become familiar with, right? Understanding what cybersecurity is all about and the need for it. Understanding the CIA triad, which is the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data, right? Introduction to cryptography, ethical hacking, those phases of ethical hacking, right? Cybersecurity frameworks, cybersecurity tools, cybersecurity or cyber threats, interview question, career guidance, right? So these are very helpful resources in addition to what I am providing that can actually give you that head start and making that decision, all right? In addition to this, then you also have introduction to cybersecurity, right? Getting those fundamentals, all right? And there's a number of valuable information that you definitely want to have a deep understanding of as a security professional within the industry, cybersecurity governance, all of these areas, cybersecurity control families, standards, frameworks, key security concepts, all right? These are things that you want to definitely understand, those dimensions of cybersecurity, right? The domains, your internet, the foundational principles, right? So these are definitely resources that I will be sharing as a part of this course that you can actually take the time to go through these resources, become familiar with these areas, in addition to being guided in your cybersecurity career journey, right? And also in addition to this is a very wonderful resource by the SANS Institute, and it is called New to Cyber Field Manual. And this is the ultimate guide to getting into cybersecurity. So this is a very valuable resource that you definitely want to tap into in building your cybersecurity journey. So all those questions, in addition to what I've explained to this point, is also answered in detail in this guideline, right? How do I get started? What to expect? All of these things, right? Take advantage of free content. Building your skills, surrounding yourself with industry expert, attending free and low-cost events. Engaging with the community, look for scholarships and community programs, getting training and certification. So all of these details are highlighted. So with that said, guys, then we would have covered a number of options that you can actually take into consideration as you build your cybersecurity journey. So see you in the next segment. In this segment of our course, we're going to be looking at a very important aspect of building or pivoting your cybersecurity career. And no doubt you would have had some amount of value with you. And one of the very key things is that within organizations, you cannot take your job with you wherever you go, but for sure you can take your brand. So it's very important that you build your brand to create yourself a person of value and worth. And this is what we're going to be focusing on in this section. Now we're going to be looking at things such as what do you mean by your brand, tips for defining your professional brand in terms of what you represent to the marketplace as a cybersecurity or GRC professional. We're going to be looking at things such as ways to make your LinkedIn profile stand out from the rest, or to create your own work experience to add to your resume, which many persons at times have challenges with. So guys, stay tuned for what next. What do we mean by your brand? And for many persons, this seems somewhat of a marketing term. And as a cybersecurity professional, I might be saying, I am not someone in marketing or I'm not running a business. But in today's environment, this is very important. Know your brand refers to your overall identity and reputation of what you are in the marketplace. Your brand encompasses all the elements that make up your public image, your uniqueness, and this including things such as your name, logo, your tagline, your messaging, your reputation, things that you post online, and other factors that contribute to how you are perceived by the target audience. Now, your brand is what sets you apart from your competitors. For example, other professionals within the industry. And your brand is what creates a connection with your target audience. It is how you are recognized and remembered. And this is very important based on the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, you cannot take your job with you when you are laid off or you decide to move on, but for sure your brand is what you have with you continuously. Now you may ask, what does this have to do with me being a cybersecurity or GRC professional? Now the answer is simple. We're living in a dynamic and very competitive world. And you can attest to that based on the challenges you might be experiencing to get into a cybersecurity or GRC role. Therefore, you either have to make that choice to stand out and get recognized or blend in, and for sure you will get lost. Now, in the next segment of this course, we'll be looking at tips for defining your professional brand in terms of what you represent to the marketplace as a cybersecurity and GRC professional. And for sure, I will be also providing links to other experts and subject matter experts within the industry who speaks on this topic of creating your brand for you to get further details. In the previous segment of our course, we look at what is meant by your brand when we talk about branding and your representation. Now, in this segment, I will be sharing with you a number of tips that you can actually use in relation to defining your professional brand. Now, define your professional brand in terms of what you represent to the marketplace as a cybersecurity professional. So defining your professional brand is essential to establishing yourself as a credible and, very importantly, valuable cybersecurity professional in the marketplace. And there are a number of things that you can do to help you in defining your professional brand. And one of the first things is to identify your unique value proposition. And what I mean is that you want to look at what sets you apart from other cybersecurity professionals, right? That's a question that you want to ask. So definitely you want to identify your unique skills, experience, and expertise that make you stand out in the marketplace. So that is something that you will have to look into on your own. And you can also have other persons help you work on that. No, secondly, you want to define your target audience. Who are you trying to reach with your brand? Consider the companies, industries, and also individuals you want to work with and tailor your brand messaging accordingly. You also want to develop a consistent message. Your brand message should be consistent across all of your online and offline marketing channels, your various platforms, including your resume, your LinkedIn profile, your website, your business cards, and your email signature. Make sure your message is clear, concise, and focused on your unique value proposition. Build your online presence. That's one of the 4 things that you want to look into. Establish a strong online presence for creating a professional website or a blog, publishing articles and white papers, and engaging with your target audience on the various social media platform. The thing is that, guys, if you are not putting yourself out there, then persons will not know about you. So make sure your online presence reflects your brand, message, and value proposition at all times, so that you are known for a particular thing, or a particular service, or a particular skill set. 5th thing that you want to do is to leverage your network. And by this, we mean that you want to leverage your professional network to build your brand and expand your reach. Connect with industry thought leaders, attend networking events, and participate in online forums to establish yourself as a credible and valuable cybersecurity or GRC professional. Continuously learn and grow, and this cannot be overemphasized. Cybersecurity is a rapidly evolving field, and it's essential to stay up to date on the latest trends and technologies. Therefore, you need to be continuously learning and growing your skills to remain relevant and valuable to your target audience. And one seventh and last thing is to deliver results, right? So finally, you want to establish yourself as a credible and valuable cybersecurity professional. Therefore, you must deliver results for your clients or your employees. Focus on delivering high quality work, meeting deadlines, and exceeding expectations to build a very strong reputation and establish your brand as a trusted cybersecurity professional. Now, with that said, I just want to share my screen with you as we look at just an example to illustrate how it is that you can actually define your professional brand as a cybersecurity professional. So let me quickly share my screen with you for you to see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so there we have, so in this example, just to demonstrate or illustrate how to define your professional brand as a cybersecurity professional. And this is something that I will be providing you with. As mentioned earlier, all resources that I use in this course will be at your disposal to further take the time to go into in detail. So as it relates to your unique brand, it says, for example, I am a cybersecurity professional with over 10 years of experience in developing and implementing effective security strategies for organizations across various industries. My unique skills include risk assessment, threat analysis, and incident response, which enable me to identify and mitigate security threats quickly and efficiently. And this is something that you can actually put as part of your description within, for example, your LinkedIn profile. So at the get-go, person see what it is that you represent, what it is that you bring to the marketplace, and where it is that you're actually focusing your target audience. So my target audience includes small to medium-sized businesses, nonprofit organizations, and government agencies that need to protect their sensitive data and systems from cyber threats, right? So the information that you post, the thing that you talk about, your experiences will actually put forward this skill set. So at the get-go, persons can see your target market based on your skills. And consistent message. My brand message is focused on helping organizations achieve their cybersecurity goals by providing tailored security solutions based on their unique needs and risk. My messaging highlights my expertise in risk assessment, threat analysis, and incident response, and emphasize my ability to communicate complex technical concepts in simple, understandable language. So all that you're doing, all of the content that you put across must be portraying and driving these elements. Right, your online presence. I have established a strong online presence by creating professional website that showcases my expertise, publishing articles, white papers. So these are the things that you want to be doing. You want to create that network. I regularly attend cybersecurity conferences, networking events, and this is something that I do on a regular basis. I signed up for just about everyone, all events, online, free events that deal with cybersecurity and GRC to build my knowledge base, to keep up to date with what is happening, and also to take that opportunity to network with other professionals in the industry. That is how doors can be opened to you for various opportunities, right? So continuously learning, staying up to date, that cannot be overemphasized, delivering the results when you're given the opportunity to showcase your skill set. So with that said, guys, then we have actually looked at ways in which you can actually define your professional brand. So see in the next segment, we'll further look at additional details as it relates to pivoting into cybersecurity and GRC. Ways to make your LinkedIn profile stand out. Now, having a standout LinkedIn profile is essential for professionals who want to establish a strong personal brand and network with potential employers or clients. And I'll be going through a number of ways that you can actually make your LinkedIn profile stand out. And this is very important as this is what represents you. This is your online resume that in most cases, most occasions, this is where networking takes place. This is where employees, recruiters, persons will find you in terms of who it is that you are as a professional within the industry to see what it is that you're doing to contribute to the cybersecurity or GRC space. So let me quickly go across to my profile. So there you have my profile, and for sure this might not be the most perfect optimized profile, but for sure it does contain a number of those elements that will make you as an individual stand out within the marketplace. So for sure is that you want to optimize your profile picture and your background, right? So your profile picture and background photo are the first things people see when they visit your profile. So you want to make sure that they are professional, your profile, your background, your banner is professional, and it is also eye-catching. You want to use high-quality headshots for your profile picture and choose background photos that are aligned with your personal brand. So in my case, to recognize the colors that I use are consistent right through my profile. From the get-go, you know what I represent in the market, that I'm a professional that focuses on helping organizations and businesses manage their cyber risk through cybersecurity and GRC programs. So that's my main aim as a cybersecurity professional. Also, my description, my name, the things that I stand for, the things that I do, I mean, certifications, titles, I mean, which are not really that super important if you do not have all of these things. But the key thing is representation. When persons look at your profile, you must have that captivating professional looks at the get-go. Persons know what you're about, what you present to the marketplace in terms of your headlines, your following also speak to your activity, your presence on this platform, your contribution, your work that you're contributing. So from the get-go, you immediately see your activities, the things that you're doing, your engagement, right? You want to craft what are a very compelling headline and summary about you as an individual within the industry that speaks to your experience over the years, your skill set, things that you can do to add value to organizations. So very captivating at the get-go. So you want to have that compelling headline and summary. Your headline and summary are the key components of your profile, and they should clearly communicate your professional experience and value proposition, right? So you want to use keywords related to your industry and job function to help your profile show up in relevant searches, right? You also want to highlight your achievements and skills, right? So this is where you have, for example, your experience, all of your experience listed, educational achievements, things that you have done. In my case, volunteering, which also has a lot, skill set, where a person endorse the various skill set that you have, right? And all of this comes through networking and involvement and engaging with multiple persons. So that persons can really see that you're a person of value you are a person, you're a subject matter expert in the things that you do to provide those recommendations and those endorsements as it relates to your skill set, right? Then you also want to highlight your achievements, which I mentioned. Get recommendation, your endorsement, publish articles and posts, right? So various articles that I've done, publications, posts, right? All my interests, all of these things that you want to have listed and highlighted on your profile. As I mentioned before, this is your online resume that in most cases is the first point of contact with you online. That process will see what you're about, right? You want to engage with other persons, with other professionals on LinkedIn by commenting on their posts and sharing your relevant content, right? So this can help you build your network and establish yourself as a valuable member of your industry or community. And these are the things that persons will look at in terms of reaching out to you for your professional assistance, your professional services as an individual, right? So by following these steps, and also maybe other steps outside of these, you can create a profile that stands out, one that helps you establish your personal brand, and one that helps you to connect with potential employers or clients. So see you in the next segment where we will continue to look at ways that we can build our cybersecurity skills as we navigate our way along cybersecurity and the GRC space. Now, personally speaking, oftentimes it can be quite challenging to get into cybersecurity or to get the job of choice, simply because you do not have the years of experience or no experience at all. And for sure, the cybersecurity or GRC space is very competitive despite the fact that we are always seeing the need for cybersecurity professionals, and there is a gap or shortage in cybersecurity skills. Now, I'll be sharing you a few suggested ways for you to create your own experience and to actually demonstrate that you have the capabilities, you understand the concepts in relation to securing organizations with the various skill sets and knowledge that you have as a professional. Now, if you have never worked in cybersecurity field before, then there are several ways to gain security experience and build your skills. And some of these, and it's not, some of these include things such as, well, the first thing is to participate in cybersecurity competitions. And for sure, by doing this, then you can also gain the referrals from those events to say these are the things that you have participated in, and these are the things that you have done over a number of maybe years, months, weeks, whichever the case is. So many cybersecurity competitions are available online, such as one of the well-known one is Capture the Flag, if you're into offensive, defensive aspect of cybersecurity. And these competitions are designed to simulate real-world cybersecurity scenarios and can provide hands-on experience in identifying and mitigating cybersecurity threats, right? So that's one way. Secondly, which is very powerful, is volunteer for cybersecurity projects. And this at times can be also challenging, but this is another option that you can also explore, right? So volunteering for cybersecurity projects with non-profit organizations or local businesses can provide valuable experience in the field. And you can also participate in open source cybersecurity projects to gain hands-on experience and in cybersecurity or the GRC space, right? Pretty much you want to align yourself with persons who are already in the industry, who are willing to probably maybe take you on for some internship to really garner those skill set that you can document along the way. Right? You want to build your own cybersecurity projects, and there are many projects online. Once you search online to do that search to look at cybersecurity project ideas, GRC projects, I mean, writing policies, procedures, all of these things, building your own lab, that cannot be overemphasized. This is where you build your skills, you experiment with various platform applications, whether it's in networking, whether it's in GRC. You want to demonstrate, you want to document, you want to post, publish your discovery steps you took to implement those solutions, all of this to resolve various problems as it relates to cybersecurity, right? So you want to build your own cybersecurity projects, such as maybe a network security monitoring system or vulnerability scanner within an environment, right? Patch management, vulnerability management, all of these things can demonstrate your skills and knowledge in the field. And you can showcase these projects in your portfolio. And there are many applications online that you can actually use to host these various portfolios. You can even document these things being done within your environment, then publish these on platforms such as YouTube, Udemy, in various forms of courses to demonstrate your skill set and your knowledge base, your understanding as it relates to cybersecurity concepts. Then you want to do things such as attend cybersecurity conferences and workshops. And I cannot emphasize the value in this, because this is something that I have also participated in and will continue to participate in things such as these to build my network and to gain further experiences, right? So you want to attend cybersecurity workshops. And by attending cybersecurity conferences and workshops, then these can provide valuable insight into the latest cybersecurity trends, technologies, and best practices. You can also network with cybersecurity professionals and learn about potential job opportunities. And as a result of some time in the past, I can attest to the fact that by attending events, by networking, this is where I was able to land a job in my past experiences, right? Practice good cybersecurity habits. So finally, practicing good cybersecurity habits in your personal and professional life can demonstrate your commitment to the field. And this includes keeping your own devices and accounts secure, staying up to date on the latest threats and vulnerabilities, and following best practices for cybersecurity, right? So there are a number of options that you can explore to really build your skill set, document, publish, demonstrate these skills so that recruiters, employers can actually see what it is that you're doing and your interests and your contribution to the industry. Now, in this segment of our course, taking your career to the next level, I'll be looking at a number of things such as important tips for landing a job in cybersecurity or GRC. And very importantly, I will also be sharing with you a number of other resources, my resources that can definitely aid in building your career and gain additional practical experience within the industry. So see you in the next segment. Now, here are a number of important tips that you can actually use for assisting with landing a job in cybersecurity or GRC. And these are pretty much just suggestions. It all depends on your situation, your circumstance, and what actually works. And one of the first things recommend is to get the right education. And when we talk about getting the right education, it depends on the nature of the job. So in this case, I will never recommend that you go out and you get all these various certification degrees, all these things. Unless it is required, then you will not go for these things. But it's always good to have that 360-degree holistic approach, understanding of cybersecurity and GRC, right? Going back to those fundamentals. So first thing, you want to get the right education. I will say right in quotation marks. So to be successful in cybersecurity all depends on having the right balance of education in terms of pursuing a degree in information technology, cybersecurity, or some related field, right? You also want to mix that with a combination of certifications within the industry. So getting certified in various fields speaks to, well, for some organizations, speaks to your credibility. But this is also debatable. As the end of the day, it all boils down to your ability to perform the duties that are given to you. So having that right mix of education, certifications, all depends. But it's always good to have these in place that will help to make you stand out as someone who is definitely learning and someone who is also trainable within the industry. Right, thirdly, you want to gain experience, which I earlier spoke about in terms of gaining relevant experience, right? So experience is crucial in this field, regardless of how much or how little that experience is, right? So you want to look for internships or entry-level positions in cybersecurity or GRC to gain practical experience. And you can also volunteer to work on security projects for nonprofit organizations to gain experience, even volunteering to work within organizations for free on various projects. Right, going back to these fundamentals, build your network. And I cannot overemphasize the importance of networking, right? So networking is important in any field, not just cybersecurity, but it's particularly crucial when you think about pivoting into cybersecurity and GRC. So you want to attend those conferences, join those professional organizations, connect with industry professionals on the various platforms. You want to network as much as you can, right, to provide valuable insights that can help you find various job opportunities. Staying up to date, right? This cannot be overemphasized based on the growing dynamics within the cybersecurity industry. Develop your skills, right? So in addition to those technical skills, employers are looking for candidates with strong soft skills such as communication abilities, communication problem solving, critical thinking skills, right? Develop these skills through various projects, extracurricular activities, volunteering, and the list goes on. And very importantly is that you want to be prepared. Guys, you want to be prepared for the opportunities when they present themselves. So you want to be prepared for interviews, right? Be prepared for job interviews by researching companies and practicing your responses to common interview questions. And there are many, many resources online that speaks to how it is that you answer various interview questions. And in particular, there are also various resources specifically to the area of cybersecurity that you want to get into. So guys, in the next segment, then I will also be sharing with you a number of additional resources that you can also capitalize on to build your skill set and to gain also that practical hands-on experience in taking your cybersecurity career to the next level. So see you in that next segment. No doubt you're looking at the background behind me and you might be wondering, what is it that this video is all about? So guys, the fact is that I lost my job in 2020 when the COVID just hit. And that in of itself totally transformed my life totally, being a cybersecurity and information security professional within the industry. And for sure, I just want to take this time to share with you the realities and what I have actually been doing to put a twist on all that is happening. And oftentimes we hear and read about the high demand for cybersecurity professionals. Yet still, it remains very hard, very competitive for many of us to get into the industry, despite our achievements, our certifications, our degrees, experience. And this reality has led many to becoming very frustrated, including myself, and even at the point of changing careers, which can be very challenging, depending on a number of factors, not to mention age being one of them. Now, I too am dealing with those struggles, and I felt the need to share what I have been doing to fuel my dreams despite the odds. And the question is it possible to generate income as a cybersecurity professional when you are unemployed with little or no experience? And this is one of the major challenges for many of us. How it is that we are able to care for our families. Many relationships are being destroyed. We have various responsibilities. So we are at a point, I was at a point where I definitely needed to find ways to be creative. And navigating my way from unemployment to a person of value was very hard and continues to be challenging as I've been working most of my life since college, since university. And no worries, I will soon share my plan of how you can generate income as a cybersecurity professional by making yourself a person of value, developing that strategic plan, which for me is what I describe as my revenue stream. And the fact is that uh, after countless trial and error, I actually found a plan that works for me. And maybe this could also work for you if you put in the work, as there's no silver bullet to anything. And for sure, I'll be diving into what I have that you're looking behind me at the moment. Now, let's look at what I've been doing to actually make myself in terms of a person of value. So let me quickly share my screen with you as we dive into all unnecessary details. And for sure, you can definitely, my aim is for you to also develop your plan and to take some of these measures that could possibly transform your dark situation into that moment of hope moving forward as a professional within the industry, knowing that there is hope. So let me quickly share my screen with you as we work through what I have been doing. So for sure, let's quickly all right, guys. So there I have my screen, and that's the plan that I have been working on. All right. Let me quickly ensure that we are all on the same page. Okay. So there we have our screen. And what you're looking at is actually the plan that I have been working through so far, right? Looking at the number of steps that I've actually taken. Now, and the first thing that you notice is that what I've done is to call this what my income stream plan. And this is where I actually use my LinkedIn as my center of attraction for everything that I do in terms of creating a person of value. And I'll be looking at going to my LinkedIn shortly just to show you all the breakouts. So this is basically my plan. And the first thing that I committed to was to acquire knowledge. This is where I spend a lot of time in terms of learning more about my career path, doing various training courses to build my skill set so that I can be very valuable in terms of becoming that subject matter expert within the cybersecurity and GRC space. And I'll be also pushing out a course shortly that speaks to all of this in terms of pivoting into cybersecurity or the GRC space. So there we have, this is my plan. Then I also have what is known as my affiliate partnership, where I actually reach out to various vendors, MSPs, MSSPs to build those relationships in terms of the services that they have. So once I build relationship with other companies that needs these services, then I create those referrals to these enterprise organizations, who in turn will definitely compensate me accordingly, right? Then this is where I do my live streams, where I constantly create my niche on the various platforms, pushing content in relation to the things that I do as a cybersecurity expert. I have my podcast where I provide mentorship for upcoming cybersecurity professionals. And this is where I also build those relationships in terms of converting those various listeners into revenue leads to the various other income platforms that I have configured. So these are things that you can also do in building your skill set. Then I also have, this is where I have my content being created. And many of us are familiar with Buy Me a Coffee application, their platform. So I post a lot of valuable content in relation to cybersecurity and GRC within that platform, where persons can go to and also to support my work wherever possible. This is also another big one for me. This is my Udemy platform where I create a number of courses, content courses, where I pretty much bundle my experience on various subject matters, topics that I'll be also sharing with you. And for sure, doing my various YouTube live streams, videos, this being one of them that person can actually have access to. From there, you're able to access the various services, platforms, streams, all the things that I do. All of these things are interconnected. Then I also promote my various services on my LinkedIn profile. So all of these elements, and there are many more other ways, other platforms that you can also use. But this is just what I have been doing that possibly can also add value to you as a professional within the industry that you can also think about, right? So this is pretty much my strategic plan of action in terms of keeping myself occupied, in terms of having that bright outlook on all that is happening despite the challenges, right? So this is pretty much what I call using my kryptonite, which is the loss of my job, to use the COVID as my catalyst to becoming a person of value, right? So let's quickly move from this. And if you look straight at my LinkedIn profile, guys, one of the things that you want to do is to create that presence, right? And if you recognize that I am constantly looking to my left, which is your right, and because I actually have a screen at the moment sharing. So this is where we have my LinkedIn profile, which I've actually talked about in one of those courses that I've done, where you actually create a profile that represents you, your colors, the things that you do. So immediately persons know what you are about, right? You set your profile to be that business professional, right? Bear in mind that your profile represents who you are. It is your resume online, right? So from the get-go, I have all the things that I do. I'm a cybersecurity professional, right? All the certifications, training, whatever it is. And this is not just about titles or certification. I'm just showing you the things that I have been able to do despite the odds of losing my job as a result of COVID. So I've actually created those Udemy courses, and then I've actually created what is called my business service link. Now, when you click on this link, right, this link brings you to this page that goes further into the services and things that I do. So immediately you recognize you have access to all my Udemy training, right? My cybersecurity GRC resources, right? This is where I provide cybersecurity career guidance. This is where the affiliate business services comes in for persons who are interested in VC services. Then I also have those contact relations with these necessary providers who are able to provide those services. And you also have the SMBs, the managed service providers, right? If you want to be a guest on my podcast, you can also access that consultative services, just the same. So it's all about marketing, it's all about making yourself marketable and valuable, right? So when you access here, then immediately you're able to go to my Udemy courses, right? And these are my links to just a few of the courses, some of the top courses that I have on my profile. So immediately once you click on these, it takes you to, for example, this conducting cybersecurity and GRC assessments, best practices for cybersecurity and GRC professionals, the ultimate cybersecurity professional. These are courses that I've actually developed, and these have actually been a source of revenue for me that you can also do the same, right? So with that being said, then let's go right back to my profile. And from here also, right, just waiting for this to load. Just the same, and you recognize from here, you're able to go back to my LinkedIn profile as well as to access my YouTube content from here as well, right? So this is where you have all my Udemy courses now to access all my GRC and cybersecurity resources. And for all of these, you can always schedule time with me to have those conversations, XYZ. So to access all of these resources, then it immediately brings you to what I call Buy Me a Coffee page. And this is where I have number of valuable content that persons can actually use to gain further insight into cybersecurity and GRC topics, and for sure, if they want to support my work. So this is all about using ways to generate income. At the end of the day, every little adds up in terms of helping you to cover all those various expenses, those financial challenges that you are having. So, all right, so that you have that in place, guys. All right. Then I also have my YouTube channel. Right, so this is where you have all my videos, and very important is the fact that I also customize this editing that you can also do. So straight from this profile, you're able to access my LinkedIn profile, you're able to access my business services, you're able to access all my Udemy courses, as well as all of these links are geared towards generating revenue by visiting and also supporting those services that are provided there. Also, I have my my podcast streams. This is where I have all the interviews, all the resources, talking about all the expert security leaders within the industry that I use as a means of providing mentorship, support, guidance, career guidance, as well as to speak a lot about various topics in relation to cybersecurity and GRC that can also add value to you as a cybersecurity professional within the industry. So, guys, it's all about the approach that you would take to build yourself as that cybersecurity professional within the industry. So, despite the challenges that you're going through, there is hope. You can definitely be somebody of value. And for sure, I hope that you found this very helpful, very informative, and for sure, I would definitely appreciate the fact that you share this with somebody, that you can actually look into these options. For sure, reach out to me. I will not hesitate to sit with you to provide the guidance in terms of how it is that I actually develop some of these relationships, the things that I do to maybe build Udemy courses, to create affiliates, all of these things. So it's all about being creative despite the challenges that you're facing. There is hope. There is a way out of all of this. And for sure, there are many areas of cybersecurity. There are other skill areas, there are other professions, there are other things that you can definitely do to really overcome all the odds that you're going through at this time. So guys, for sure, stay tuned, subscribe, share until I meet with you in further conversations like this. All right, great guys. Now that we have actually covered a number of tips for landing a job in cybersecurity, then I also want to share with you a number of other resources that I've actually curated that you can actually make use of in terms of building your cybersecurity career skill set, in terms of pivoting or taking your cybersecurity career to the next journey or to the next level. All right. So let me quickly just go to the services section of my profile, and from here you have access to my Udemy training courses, as well as to various cybersecurity resources that you can also capitalize on to keep abreast of those important elements or things that are happening within cybersecurity. Right. So here you can actually access a number of courses that I've actually put together that gives you practical hands-on experience of conducting various things that industry organizations are actually looking for. And these are things that you can actually use to create your practical experience that you can actually add to your resume and to demonstrate to employers that you can actually carry out these various tasks. I mean, things such as conducting cybersecurity and GRC assessments. And within this course, I've actually covered a number of assessments. You're looking at risk assessments, ransomware assessments, various gap analysis, all of those assessments that organizations normally conduct from a cybersecurity and GRC's perspective. We're looking at this course that focuses on a number of best practices within the industry for cybersecurity and GRC professionals, as well as this course, the Ultimate Cybersecurity Professional course that gives you a holistic 360-degree approach to cybersecurity in terms of developing a cybersecurity program. All practical, hands-on exercises approach. But after, let me quickly just jump to one of these courses just for you to see or an understanding of the nature or the content of the course itself, right? So within this course, you have all of these valuable resources, the fundamentals, we look at conducting all of those practical assessments, right? Setting up your environment for conducting all of these PCI DSS, CMMC, NIST, HIPAA readiness assessment, and the list goes on, right? So for sure, you definitely want to jump onto those resources that are available. And for sure, I'll be providing links to all of these in the course itself that you can actually capitalize on these valuable resources that are available to you. All right. So meet me in the next segment where we will conclude this course in itself. What do you know, guys? We are at the end of our course, pivoting into cybersecurity. And this was indeed an exciting journey, and I enjoyed being your mentor in this course. I wish for you all the future success, all the best with your pursuits in terms of making that decision, in terms of pivoting, and more so, I definitely hope that you are in a better place in terms of making that decision of actually moving from where you are to where you want to go. So for sure, feel free to reach out to me on my Discord server, also on LinkedIn. and I'll be more than happy to assist you in any way possible to help to build and to take your career to the next level so that you can be that person of value to that organizations are seeking within their operations. So for sure, see you in future courses.